दीपिका पादुकोण एक बार फिर बनी ट्रोलर्स का शिकार। आखिर किस वजह से हुई ट्रोल, आइए जानते हैं। इस मुश्किल समय पर सभी बॉलीवुड सेलिब्रिटीज गवर्नमेंट को अपने तरफ से सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो कई स्टार्स कई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं कि आखिर किस तरह इस बीमारी से बचा जाए। दीपिका पादुकोण भी खुद इसी तरह जितनी मदद हो सके कर रही है, लेकिन अब इसी हेल्प के कारण दीपिका हो गई ट्रोल। जी हाँ, दीपिका ने रिसेंटली अपने ट्विटर अकाउंट पर अनाउंस किया her schedule for collaborating with Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, WHO डायरेक्टर जनरल, टू डिस्कस द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ, और इसी वजह से वो बुरी तरह ट्रोल हो गई। आखिर क्या कहना है ट्रोलर्स का, आइए डालते हैं एक नजर। इन ट्रोल्स के बाद देखना होगा क्या और कैसे होगा दीपिका का रिएक्शन इन ट्रोल्स पर, और दीपिका के इस इनिशिएटिव पर आपकी क्या राय है, हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताएं। ऑल्सो डू लाइक, फॉलो एंड सब्सक्राइब टू बॉलीवुड नाउ ऑन फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम एंड यूट्यूब। जाते जाते आइए डालते हैं उस वीडियो पर एक नजर जहां दीपिका ने की थी डिप्रेशन पर खुल के बात।
I remember this one thing you said to me, and you said there were mornings that I did not want to wake up. And that is the truly frightening thing. You know, we tend to think of the word depression as a self-indulgence, as the luxury of those who can afford it. But it is actually lethal. Describe that feeling. And how you clawed your way out of it.
It was exactly that. My parents were in town. They keep visiting me at least every month, and now even more often. So it was their day to like sort of go back, and you know, they were packing, and I woke up and I have to cross their room to sort of go to have my breakfast or whatever. And I looked at my mom and I went and sat with her for a bit, and she was talking to me about something completely else, something else. And I started crying, you know, and I've always tried to be very, very strong about it because I live in Mumbai, they live in Bangalore, so I always try and put up a very brave front, even on the phone. I could have had the most difficult day, but when I talk to them, I literally have to take a deep breath and calm myself down to give them that feeling of assurance that I'm fine. So, you know, we were talking about something and I broke down, and I think, you know, thanks to her awareness, she immediately said, I think we should call Anna because she's a family friend, and I think we should talk to her about it. And I did.
Anna Chandy, who's here today.
Yes. Every day was a struggle, you know. And now when I talk to more and more people about it, or people come and talk to me about their experiences, I know of people who've struggled for 8 years, 10 years, 25 years. Some people, you know, sort of live with it for a lifetime. But it, like I said, it was the worst feeling of my life. And it felt like every day felt like forever. Every second felt like forever. And there were, like, you know, I told you last time also, there were days where I just felt like, it's not worth this, you know. It's not worth the strange feelings that I was feeling. And I just felt like there was no reason to live.
That bad. You said my mind stopped talking to me. Explain that.
I had no answers, you know. There was obviously no one definite reason why I was feeling that way, but I had everything going for me, and there was no one definite, you know, reason. And I think the most difficult part was not being able to understand what was happening. And that's when you decide to see a doctor, because they're there to help you and to tell you why certain thoughts, why certain feelings, why you're feeling a certain way. But until then, until I decided to reach out, it was my own struggle and my own battle. And of course, there's, you have friends and you have family and you have everyone who's there with you constantly, and they'll always tell you that it'll be okay. But it's hard sometimes, and you sometimes feel like they don't understand what you're going through. People who you're not very close to will always be like,
stop it now.
Come on now, like, let's watch a movie. Let's go out, let's do something, stay over, sleep over, something. But no, you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like, maybe sometimes, when you're on a high, when you feel normal, it's not a constant feeling. You feel high and you feel low, and when you feel better, you feel like going out, then you reach somewhere, and suddenly in a room full of people, I could be sitting here right now and feeling completely lost. It's strange. And I think the scariest part is you don't know when it sort of
creeps up on you.